coming.
It's coming.
Speeding up. Oh, there's the countdown.
We need to make a REVN anime intro for these streams.
That'd be sick. Yo. That was cool.
Yeah, I'd like to thank everybody who helped us create the trailer. There was a bunch of community members who submitted their footage. They helped us record and get all the gameplay footage for this trailer. So thank you guys. OP Goku, Slore, of course, everybody on the dev team, Arb, and I think a few other people that I am forgetting. So I apologize. But thank you to everybody who did help provide stuff for that stream, or for that video, rather. That's going to be sort of the new trailer for REVN that you'll be seeing on the Steam page, on our website. Basically, everywhere that you go to download REVN, you'll see the new trailer there. It'll be replacing the old trailer. And we're really glad that it's finished now. It also has a remix of the original soundtrack for the original trailer, which was done by our new audio director, who will be joining the team. So you'll be seeing more of his work in the coming weeks as well. So a little teaser of what he's got planned for you guys. All right.
That music was awesome.
Let's kind of dive into what's going on in this update, which is coming out on Monday, update 15.7.
Yeah, this is a pretty thick one.
Yeah, this is a cool update. Also, kind of as we're jumping into things, I'd like to shout out Arb. She has volunteered to host some additional community playtests on the weekends, either Friday or Saturday. She's leaning towards Saturday afternoon or evening if there is community interest in that. So if you're in the Discord server or you want to join the Discord server, just let everybody know that you're interested in that, and we'll get that organized. So really appreciate her sort of stepping up to help organize some extra playtesting outside of the developer-hosted playtests on Tuesday and Wednesday. All right, so new content this week. Let's run through it, Alistair. What do we got?
So we've got new textures coming to the Jungle Death Box building. That's for those of you who aren't familiar with the terminology, the little building with the red buff in it. It's got a, it's a box, and it's pretty easy to get killed in. So make it a little bit more notable. It's got some more neon signs. I really think we should add some warning signs. Actually, I think that would be the funny the big funny that we could
Yeah. Oh,
use.
yeah. Like let people know that it
Like
is the death
hazard
box.
signal.
Yeah. Yeah. So this is an interesting building because it appears in two sections of the map, right? Because the map's mirrored.
Yep.
And it's actually getting a unique texture for both sides of the map. They're getting a slightly different design. So the design that we're showing here, which is on one side of the map that's closer to Hunter, this one is sort of a I believe we called it like a brutalist style architecture gazebo. Like it's gonna have some of the like garden wall elements reflected in it, and it's a little bit more nature themed while still being like a very rigid piece of architecture. Um, and the other one, which we're not showing on stream, is it's closer to Angel and the more industrial side of the map, and so we're sort of envisioning it as a break room for workers in the industrial area. So it's not going to have those garden elements. It's going to have I think we're actually gonna put some like vending machines in there and some like like lunch tables and stuff. It's going to be a little bit more industrial break room style, and this one's going to be more of a like a gazebo or almost like a subway stop because there's the like train area, nearby. So this is something I'm pretty excited about. Working with the art team to actually develop unique variations of the same building. And then we've also got some other new content this week with Recoil. So new animations here. We got the shotgun. You can see here, but we're getting new animations on all the weapons so that they feel a little bit more impactful, a little bit more powerful. We'll be fine tuning these animations individually for each weapon in the coming weeks, probably adding some new ones for any weapons that have maybe reuse some animations across some of them. But this is going to help the weapons feel a lot more powerful, which is really cool.
Yeah, I really like this. I When I saw this gift first, I was like really impressed with how like the shoulder moves, and I think this is something that we've been wanting to do for a long time. So, thanks to the new animation studio, I think we were able to get this in the game, and it looks great.
Yeah, yeah. And those of you who watch me on my personal Twitch channel, twitch.tv/styluscodes, you got to watch me sort of wrestle with this in real time for about 8 hours earlier this week. I did an all day live stream working on integrating these animations, fixing some very confusing and frustrating bugs, but ultimately conquered them. So I also want to, shout out the Scrub Lord and Moz306 for tuning into that stream and offering me some of their sage wisdom as fellow Unreal Engine indie game developers. They helped me through some of those bugs, so those guys were super helpful. Yeah, so we got these new animations. That really excited. It's something like you said we've wanted to do this for a very long time, and now that we've got the new motion capture studio and some new technology, we're able to do things like this. All right, let's talk about the meta. What's changing this week, Alistair?
Uh, so the Chrono Step item is getting a new passive, um, and we're gonna have a slide for that too, showing you what that looks like. 'Cause that's got some new particles too. But basically, while you are below 50% health, you're gonna gain 100 move speed. Um, so we're gonna be monitoring this item pretty closely because it is a lot of move speed, but um, it definitely wasn't accomplishing what we wanted it to before. Uh, so I think that this change is gonna be pretty good as far as making it have more of an identity as a move speed item. Because we've heard a lot of people say that they really like move speed items, and we really want Chrono Step to be a viable choice in that area.
Yeah, yeah. We're kind of seeing Chronostep as the caster's move speed item. You've got lightweight ammo, which is very much a DPS or ADC style move speed item. You've got Mercury Plate, which is a tank's move speed item, and then Chronostep, which is it's got cooldown reduction, and the move speed on it is the passive is oriented towards being low health and disengaging. So probably provides the most value to casters, but it actually has, I think, a place in a lot of different builds situationally for anybody who wants to have extra escape in their kit.
Hmm. Um, or alternatively, more pushing power if they want to take that move speed forward. But that's going to be something we're going to be looking at in the playtests. Otherwise, this week, the exploding barrels are getting their explosion radius increased by 50%. We heard that they were kind of small. They definitely were. But just they first just got implemented, so we wanted to start off kind of dipping our toes in the water, and we're I think a little bit more willing to go more all in on the exploding barrels now. You're also getting a health decrease, so they're going to be easier to pop on people.
Yeah, I was actually looking at this, and it was very badly designed on release, and I'll take full credit for that because I put the numbers there. I didn't think about it. It took 500 damage to explode a barrel, but it only did 400 damage in the explosion. So it
Oh,
was, yeah,
so
it
it was
was literally negative damage to use one.
okay. Yeah. I thought they did feel a little bit low impact in that playtest, and I'm glad to know that there's a numerical reason for that.
Yeah, yeah.
Um,
So this should make them a little bit more worthwhile, a little bit more efficient. Now it's 250. You explode it, it does 400 damage. So you're doing an extra 150 damage. Plus, it's in an AoE, explosion, so you could potentially hit multiple targets with it. It's not a lot of damage, right? It's 150 more damage than you could have done by just focusing on them with your gun yourself. But it is possibly enough to change the tide of battle if you get it off in a good moment.
mhm. And this is the new interaction with the map for Pipeline, so there's still more changes to Pipeline in the horizon. So we'll be we'll be monitoring this pretty closely.
Yeah. So we're talking about Chrono Step. You get that extra burst of movement speed. You're gonna start having sort of wind coming off of your feet as you're running. Based on feedback, we may be adjusting this VFX a little bit, and I think this GIF is a little bit lower resolution than I wanted it to be. But this will indicate to everybody that you are under the effects of Chrono Step because it gives you a huge burst of movement speed as long as you're under 50% HP. And I think it's going to be kind of interesting to see in certain builds whether that is the strategy is to sort of try and be low health so that you're extra fast and risk getting bursted down but benefiting from the extra move speed. It would be kind of an interesting item to play around. Some bug
Yeah.
fixes this week, mainly focused on the new weapon firing animations and things that could happen when you were firing different weapons while casting abilities. Sometimes you would lock up your gun. We're aware of a few other issues that have not been fixed yet that are similar, but we did fix some in this patch. You'll be able to check out the full patch notes on Monday to see which specific abilities were fixed. I think there was a few things related to dual wield and dashing, for example. And map changes. I've got a slide that says map changes, which means it's time for me to switch over to the map and show you guys what we worked on there. All right, so map changes. We've been working this week on mainly on this side of the map, what we've called pipe lane, or the side lane that's by Angel. I'll just very briefly show you guys the new death box over here. So these signs right here, these neon signs, are placeholder. We'll be getting some new signs in there soon. This is just our default sort of placeholder sign. You'll be able to see in here. It's all lit up now. This was actually something I was noticing during the playtest this week, was that it was kind of dark in here. So we got some nice lighting happening now.
Yeah, that's really nice, actually.
And then let's hop over into this new lane right from the beginning. Moved a lot of stuff around. And we're not done yet. So we've sort of moved the silo out of the middle of the lane to the side and actually added a second silo. And we're going to be adding new art to the exterior wall of the map. Let me go find the concept art for that real quick, just to kind of show you guys what we're planning there. So here's some concept art of where the outside wall is going to be going. It's going to be a lot more industrial looking, adding some lights, vents, pipes, things like
More
that.
pipes to the pipe lane.
Yes. Can never have too many of those. So here's your exploding barrel panels, which we may move the exploding barrel panels around based on feedback, because we haven't really been able to playtest with them much yet. We've only had 1 week of playtesting. So please continue using them and giving us feedback. And if you think, oh, we should move this over here, or there should be another one, let us know so we can make those changes. And then moving further into the lane now, coming off of this terminal sort of platform, you can now take a catwalk up and across the lane. And it even wraps around here to the building with the robot arm on it. Or branches out across and continues further down the lane. Right here, there used to be a ramp that took you from the jungle area into the lane. We've blocked that off. And same over here where it's mirrored. We've blocked those off because we've added this ramp section here. So we're kind of transforming this area into a sniper nest that is focused on the Angel Arena and sort of a good Overwatch position. If you're contesting or just team fighting over Angel, this is a great place to set up a sniper, or maybe your caster with Orbital Strike or something, to really get a bird's eye view almost of the battlefield, and catch enemies coming in from mid lane or either side of the jungle. And putting these ramps in here provides a way for other people, enemies, to sort of contest the sniper nest position. So doing all of that meant that we had to block off these sections here, which used to be ramps.
Yeah, but overall, I think I really like this design a lot more. There's definitely a lot more like interesting ways for players to interact around the Angel boss, which is something that we've been working on doing, is making the bosses feel a little bit more bossy in the past few patches with their buffs. So having like changes to their arenas and the areas around them targeted at like making those places better for team fights is, I think, a really good change for the game.
Right. Someone on Twitch asked, well, first they said they love the new map changes and the death box updates, and then they asked, does the Chrono Step still have the cooldown reset below X HP, or is it now just the move speed bonus? It is now just the move speed bonus. The old passive, which only was on there for a couple of weeks, where it reset cooldowns when you drop below certain HP, there wasn't a lot of, I think, favorable response to that. It didn't really fit the item's identity, and just overall wasn't really doing what we wanted it to do. We wanted this to be an item that helped you either escape from a fight, or, as Alice to put it, maybe engage even faster. We wanted the passive to really let you disengage, and we thought, resetting cooldowns would be a good way to let you, maybe reset your cooldown on casting invisibility or teleport or something, but that wasn't really helping people get out of fights. And so we think that bonus move speed is going to be better for that. So something else that changing this map in this way, getting rid of these ramps, really closes off the lane. Makes it much harder to gank, because there is now basically one pathway to gank right up here in the middle of the lane, rather than two ways to gank here and here. Of course, if you have jetpack or teleport or something like that, you can gank from anywhere. But it just kind of condenses the lane's entry points, funnels them a little bit more. And I also like how you can, once you're here, jump down to take the blue buff camp if you'd like. So that's pretty cool. Maybe we'll see some fights happening between people who are on the catwalks here on the left and people who are on top of the sort of warehouse building here on the right. I believe it's not possible to jump across between those. It might be if you're very good at like building up momentum and perfectly timing a jump. And if you use like dash or something, you can obviously cross that gap as well. So there's going to be a pretty cool sort of cross fighting area here. And then, it just continues back around and mirrors what was already happening on the other side. Gets you down to your terminal here on this platform, wraps around this building. This is all placeholder content right now, as far as these white boxes, these big stretched out smokestack looking things, this weird pipe intersection. This is all placeholder. This is shipping out on Monday's update, pretty much like this, so that we can start getting feedback on it, playtesting, making sure that all the sightlines are good, all of the angles and distances feel good before we commit to doing the art, so that we have all the art dimensions locked in. But yeah, I'm pretty excited to playtest this. This lane has been sort of the low point of our environment design for a while, and now I think it's gonna finally get the love and attention that it deserves.
Yeah. No, I think what we heard was that in the market area, people really liked the amount of like the ramps and the catwalks and the kind of vertical combat that was happening there. So adding more of that into the game, um, that's gonna be accessible to players who are grounded, maybe not using jetpack, maybe not using teleport. They're still gonna be able to have these really easy to access high ground vantage points. Are I think gonna be really good for making the lane more interesting to fight in.
Yeah, yeah. I've had some pretty good interactions, with enemies across from like fighting from this building to this building, and having people like chase me across this bridge here, and those moments were previously not possible in the side lane over here, but now they are. Speaking of the market in mid lane, we are looking at redesigning this building a little bit, changing up this tent. So we know that right now it's sort of a very powerful position for someone with a burst rifle or sniper rifle with jetpack who can get up here, and then they have a very defendable position. It's very difficult for someone else to get up here unless they have jetpack. And so that's one of our things we always look for in the environment, is making sure that if you have a great sniper position, it's possible to get there just by running there, up a ramp or a ladder or something. So we're going to be making some changes so that it's no longer possible to get up here and set up your perfect sniper point. If you want to be sniping, you can do it from down here on the roof, where you still have some great sight lines, but it is possible for someone to come up the ladder, or sorry, up the stairs, and attack you to contest a position.
And also fight you from the mirrored position on the other side
Right,
too.
right, yeah.
That's the
You
other
could
thing. I mean,
both
the
have
stairs
like
are pretty deep into your territory, but there should be someone who's able to stand up here and potentially fight back against you
right. They
too.
could shoot from here. They could fight from, well, the little diamond blocks gives you a lot of cover here, but there are ways to kind of get around that. Maybe getting onto the garden walls here, coming from the side lane. Maybe you call in a sniper who is in that lane.
Hmm.
That's sort of the goal here. Um, while we're talking about map changes, also, we can kind of highlight some of the work that's happening over here. Out of Bounds, we are now starting to work on developing that. I know this doesn't look like much. It is essentially like a slightly higher poly version of the super low poly version that was here before. So if you look over here, this is still my old block out that I did a few months ago, kind of showing the general layout, scale, and density of buildings. And then over here, Ty has started to block things out in a little bit more detail, and has begun setting himself up for texturing this and really fleshing out the greater world of REVN around the gameplay area. So he'll start here, and then we'll start to wrap our way around the map, and then finally we will sort of expand outwards into the desert surrounding the city, and kind of build out that section of the world. But I think that's all the map changes this week. I think we've kind of covered everything that's up and coming right now. Pretty exciting patch. We'll have playtests Tuesdays at noon, or 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you guys are not already in the Discord, we invite you to join that. Great place to meet other players and give us feedback. And if you're also watching this on YouTube, recorded afterwards, we invite you to subscribe so that you get all the notifications and good stuff about when we're putting out these new update videos. Yeah, otherwise, you guys have a great weekend. Cobber, thanks for joining us.
Yep, no problem.
Always a pleasure to have you join. We appreciate all the support you give the game with your own streams and everything. All
Yeah,
right.
looking forward to Tuesday's playtest.
Yeah. All right. You
Awesome.
guys have a great weekend. Bye.